So guys, welcome back again. We are in the third video. So just to make a summarize up what we did before and to clarify some terms. So before we have the layout. So we discussed about the layout, the size. And now regarding X2, there are the file system type. Okay, so the difference here between X2 and X4. So we use X2, the difference that X2 support small size of files and X4 big size of files. And here because we have both, so they are small, so we can use X2. And here X4 because we might have in /home our data files, videos, etc. So we might have big files. So in order to have journaling, so let's link to these files and to have the capability to handle these files, big files, we are using X4. And same for root because root will handle all of the folders. And these folders are linked to partitions, and partitions are linked to physical hard disk. And then we spoke how to format, or here we mean by format, it's not like formatting. Here like we are initializing this partition to be supported as X2 file system. And for the swap, we spoke about it, it's virtual disk, virtual memory that uses hard disk. And so here this one CryptSetup looks close. I didn't use it, as you see before. I didn't use this command, so and I didn't get any error. So usually if you use this one or not, you will not face any problem. And just to summarize and clarify about looked format. So here we are using CryptSetup. CryptSetup effectively it contains two tools. AM setup, which is related to drive mapper setup, and the second one is to use encryption. So here we are using looks format, so we are specifying that we need looks, and here we are using AES 256 as encryption, and we are initializing this partition to be as looks, so to have it as encrypted. And this one, well, after we are using it here to open, to access it, and link it to dev mapper, and we choose here this name, so you can use whatever you want, whatever name you want. You can name it Alibaba, you can name it I love you, you can name it whatever you want. It should be no spaces in the name. This is important. And then when we open these two and specify our passphrases, we will have in dev mapper this one and this one. So dev mapper, as I said before, it's like mounting as an image, but to be more also precise, it's a logical partition that we can link to it multiple partitions or multiple files, and this one is linked to the physical one. So if you want, we can check dev mapper design. I think you can find it here online. Also, it's so okay. So you have this one. So here you have SDB, so the second disk, because B is B. So, and the first partition. So you have 5 gig, here you have the first one, and these two are linked to dev mapper. So here you have logical partition that handles two partitions. So these two are linked to this one. Also, you can have, like in our situation, we are linking here, we are linking the dev SDA3 to CryptRoot. Okay, so, and this partition is going to CryptRoot, and CryptRoot, this is a dev mapper. So like this one here, so you have SDA and link to device mapper CryptRoot, and the second one SDA also, but 4, it's linked to dev mapper but another one. So imagine that you have two dev mapper, one it's CryptRoot and the second CryptHome, and each partition is linked to one of them. So as I said before, always we need to link to a physical disk. In our case, we have the physical disk SDA and 3 is the partition 3. So let's continue. So we were mounting this section, this part. So here we need to mount the CryptRoot to /mnt. Here we are considering in our example that we have slash the big one, the parent folder, it's named /mnt. So you can choose another one, you can choose slash whatever you want here, but we chose /mnt. And then in /mnt we create boot and home. So imagine that you remove the word mnt, so you'll have /boot/home. So if you go here, also here you can go to the manual. I will show you how to go to the manual. So in order, let's first continue what we were saying before the manual. For example, here you need to check this one. So this one is the parent, and you have all of these under. So if we need to check what is inside /mnt, it's empty. Okay, so here we are choosing /mnt as equivalent to slash. So, and inside /mnt we will have boot and home. Home folder will be linked to dev mapper, which is the logical, in order to make encryption decryption, where Lux or CryptSetup will work, the mcrypt will work, and then you will have the data inside. And home is linked to SDA for the partition 4. And as for boot, it's linked to SDA2. So you'll have SDA2 linked to /boot /mnt/boot, and you will have /crypthome dev mapper crypthome linked to SDA4. In other words, if you see here, we are linking mnt home, this one folder, to dev mapper here, But if you go reverse, as I said, that we need to have physical disk or partition. So if you go back, you will have crypt home. So and crypt home it's linked to dev SDA4. So like you are mounting dev SDA4 to /mnt. But the reason why we have these tabs, dev mapper, because we are using damn crypt. Damn crypt is used to encrypt and decrypt this logical partition. So you can see it here. I will show you one. Okay, so you have the encrypt and also you have loops. In our example, we are using loops, but both they are the same, but some cryptography algorithm differs between them, but the same concept. So consider that you have instead of encrypt loops, so they are the same. And here, without encryption, so directly with encryption, so you will have in the middle, you will have dev mapper, which is linked to encrypt decrypt. So if you look here, you have hooks encryption and decryption and vice versa. So you have file system, device, your data, /home, file system, x4, and then the physical SDA, and for the partition, and you have loops or the encrypt, so you can choose whatever you want. So to go back also here, I think you got now the point of this. We will apply these ones. So let's apply them and then we can speak about the manual in order to understand more and know how to do or how to use commands and the benefit of these commands. So now if we go back here, we should have in /dev mapper, we should have crypt home, crypt root. So we need to mount, so mount /dev /mapper and /crypt root to /mnt. So we have the first step, enter. So and then you will have to create two directories. So mkdir is a command to create two directories in mnt. So we go to cd /mnt and then we make ls to check. We have this one, mkdir. We create home and we create boot. So home, you can use the up arrow and then boot. So now if you make ls, you will find boot and home. After that, so we'll mount SDA1 to mnt boot. Here we are using this partition to boot and crypt home to mnt home, and the big partition 3 which contains mnt boot and home, or in another manner /mnt contains everything. So the partition 3 is the most important partition, and without it we cannot have these files or these folders. So then mount /dev SDA1 /mnt and then boot. So just I'm checking every time the command in order not to make anything wrong. And it's my first time that I'm doing a video and also setting up a secure boot and using Arc. It's a good opportunity here from Mr. Adil. And then we have mount dev mapper cryptome/mnt home. So we can use the one dev mapper cryptome, and then we set to mnt. Okay, and now in order to check all of these, you can use the command df-h -h df disk disk file, I think. Yeah, -h is a human. Disk space. Yeah, sorry, disk space. So -h. So here you can see that you have crypt root dev mapper linked to mnt, and then inside mnt you have boot to sda1 and crypt home to home. So after that, we need to update our system and install some configuration. Noting here that this mount, if we start our system now, we'll have to repeat this mounting again. Why? Because the mount in FS tab, if you go to FS tab, so we will make that etc FS tab. So it's empty, so we don't have anything. So we need to configure our FS tab in order to have this mount manual entry, not manual, they will be generated automatic, but they will be as static entry. And after reboot, we'll be able to have this mount enabled on startup. But before doing this, so we'll go to pacman. Pacman, it's like apt-get, like yum. They are package update or package manager. Pacman used by Arch. So we'll go to here, pacman -s-y. Also, if you need, sorry, I forgot to speak a little bit about the manual. So the command man, and then you have CryptSetup. Okay, so here if you look to CryptSetup, manage to plane the mcrypt and looks encrypted volume. So it works with looks and the mcrypt. In our case, both work, but here we are using looks. Find the mcrypt or looks. So unless you background values looks, so here they are preferring to use looks. And I recommend, so if you need also to check, you have looks open command, decrypt lk open. That's for you to know to approach looks, to understand that looks, it's like BitLocker on Windows. So the same concept when you configure BitLocker and you configure your bootloader on Windows and you start up your system. So you will have to set the password in order to decrypt this partition, and then your operating system will start, and then you will decrypt another time, to have your data available and readable and encrypted. So here you can check whatever you want. So if you need, you can press slash and then you can press like looks open, and you will have looks open highlighted, and then you can press page up, page down to see if something else is highlighted in blue, and when you need to quit you press Q. So we're speaking about man, it's manual, and here in order to know what is S and Y, so we use man pacman. So pacman, it's package manager. So here we need to know -s, so sync package. So please, I forgot to tell you, it's the first important thing that you need to do. It's to have internet connection. Otherwise, you will not be able to do upgrade for your system, for install new packages and install GUI and softwares, applications. So please make sure that you have internet connection. And -y is refresh. Okay, so download a fresh copy. So we go with and then pacman -sy. And here for sure, if you go to drive C, we'll check that our operating system is consuming disk. Why? Because we are making configuration, we are making partition and making update. So we'll use data, and here backstrap, it's used to make here the slash mount as base, and Linux they are the package that we will bring them from the internet. What does this one mean? This one means that if you go to ls here slash and you look to ls/boot, you have nothing. So here you have a little bit of files for sure you will have, because here you have the command in order to make perform command. But what this will do, so when you are setting up your this one as your primary folder, we are saying that backstrap, please set this folder as primary, as base folder for our system, and bring all the packages in on the internet and put them here in /mnt. And after that, we need to change this /mnt to our root. So we will have, instead of slash, we will have our root folder /mnt. So consider it like abbreviation, like changing the name. So in order not to confuse yourself, so slash it now becomes /mnt. So I will use this command backstrap. Also, you can go to man backstrap. Okay, install packages to the specified in your root. So as I said, so we are specifying /mnt as our new one. Here you can, as you see, I am in slash, so you can be located on whatever directory you want. It's important that you put /mnt here, not to confuse, because whatever you want, sorry, you put here, it will consider it as root later on. So it will not effectively consider it as root, but all packages will be installed in this one. So it will be difficult for you to remove all files or to move them to another one. So be careful just to use the right one. So backstrap /mnt base Linux. Now, before I do this step, I will pause the video because I need to free up my drive C in order not to have error, because I think 6 gig it's not sufficient. However, I said that 22 gig is good, are good, but in order to be on the safe side, I prefer to minimize to maximize the free space, to have more free space. So I will return back in the fourth or third video segment. Thank you.